And like, I'll ask you this though, Bruno, like Fleury's name came up and I thought like, no way, like it's not going to happen. He would be, say, the best goalie available. Could you see them taking a gamble on someone like, say, like a cheap alternative who has had a good year on a losing team?
I think they're going to explore the goalie market. I really do, because I think they'd be crazy at this point not to. And again, I don't know if it's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't know if they're going to use the resources that they have, the capital that they have, the prospects that they have to go all in on Marc-Andre Fleury. And again, it's not like you have to go all in on Marc-Andre Fleury, but you're going to have to give up something pretty significant for him.
That's a loud move, Bruno. That's a loud move to get Marc-Andre Fleury.
I don't see Fleury coming in, but I think they could explore, like a B option. But then again, it's like, okay, if you're going to explore someone who's not a top tier goalie, like a Marc-Andre Fleury, and I know you think otherwise. I know you're the number one Marc-Andre Fleury hater in the world, but it's like, if you're going to go that other route and you're going to try to pick up some under the radar guy, some, borderline starter guy, aren't you really in the same spot? Because you already have Peter Mrazek, who is that essentially. And you could even argue Jack Campbell is that.
If you pick up a guy who's hot, you're not in the same spot. Like, being from Ottawa and seeing a lot of it, I'll point to Forsberg, Antoine Forsberg. He's had a great year. Like, the guy's gone through waivers a million times. He's found a comfort zone. I'm not saying he completely solves the problem and he's going to bring you elite goaltending, but he's having a great year. What more do you want?
Anton Forsberg has been playing very well for the Senators.
And at the end of the day, what would you really have to trade to get him? So I don't know. I mean, it's complicated. It's complicated.
I just think their main priority, and Dubas has said this, is probably going after a defenseman. And I know Dubas has said that they're not looking to get a goalie, but I think that's bullshit, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
Like, I think he's just saying that because he's trying to instill confidence in Jack Campbell and Peter Mrazek. But if Dubas is as smart as I think he is, do you really think he's watching this goaltending over the last few months, and you really think he's confident that this goaltending is going to get the Leafs through to the Stanley Cup final? Because at the end of the day, that's what this team is trying to do this year. And, you could say, oh, they still haven't won a playoff series. This team is in Stanley Cup win now mode. This team is not in, we're just going to win one playoff series and then we're going to go golfing and all pat ourselves on the back. That's not what this team is in it for. This team wants to win a Stanley Cup. And if you're Kyle Dubas, there's no chance in hell you're sitting there saying, you know what? I have faith in Jack Campbell to bounce back, and this guy's going to lead us through 4 rounds of the playoffs against Florida and then Tampa and then whoever from the Metropolitan Division. And then we're going to beat Colorado in the Stanley Cup final with Jack Campbell, the way he's playing right now. I just can't imagine that he's comfortable thinking that right now. So yeah, maybe they do go after an Anton Forsberg, who has had a really good season for the Ottawa Senators. And it shouldn't take as much to get him as it would a Marc-Andre Fleury. But they got to pick up a defenseman as well, because I don't want them to waste this season that's happening right now with Austin Matthews.
They can't. They can't waste the season on goaltending.
What we've been watching the last little while.
Yeah. It's going to be funny, the Leafs, right? You could write a book on the start of this year, how Campbell's season commenced, how well he was playing, the numbers he was putting up, this downfall, and what will happen in the playoffs. And then we can move forward to his contract, and that's going to be very dependent on what happens in the playoffs, whether he gets a deal from the Leafs at all, or he gets a big deal, or who knows. But at this point, my hands are completely up in the air. Like, it went from the Leafs really want Jack Campbell, but won't be able to afford him, to probably a good chance don't even try to sign him now. So I don't know, man. And again, it's all going to matter on playoff performance. But as you touched on, who knows if we even get there? Who knows if we even get there? Because it's not good, man. It's confidence. And like I wasn't really joking when I said it. I think it was last show when I mentioned sports psychologists. Someone's got to talk to him. And really someone who's professionally trained to get a sense of his confidence or his lack thereof and how he really and truly feels about the situation. Because if you don't have it in between the ears and you're not confident and you're the goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs, you're spiraling out of control, man. You can't hide. You cannot hide. And like the word I used last podcast was terrified to describe this goaltending situation. And right now, I think almost because it's kept going, like I'm not really terrified anymore. I'm just like, this is what I expect. Like I'm going into these games expecting a lot of goals, and I just hope. I really hope Dubas knows what he's doing, either in the way he has confidence in a guy and things aren't going well right now, or he's got the balls to make a move. That's it. I mean,
is it possible the Leafs trade Jack Campbell?
Yes.
As part of a package to bring in a goalie?
You'd have to.
That has to be on the table, doesn't it?
The salary, salary-wise, they'd try Mrazek, but that's ideal. But think, man, if a team's going to get, like we mentioned Forsberg, like right now today, if a team was willing to take if they were willing to take Mrazek, you would do it.
Oh, 100%.
But if right now, if Ottawa said Campbell's not signed, but Forsberg for Campbell, would you do it?
That's tough. Based on the way that both goalies have been playing this season, I'd rather have Anton Forsberg right now.
Yeah, you think about it for sure.
I'm just looking at his numbers. He's only played 27 games, but 921 save percentage, 269 goals against, playing behind a bad Ottawa Senators team.
Does he not have a winning record?
And his record, yes, is 12-10-2
for the Sens.
For the Ottawa Senators, a 921 save percentage for the Ottawa Senators.
Think about that for a second.
That could be a move right there. And you're not the first person who I've seen bring up Anton Forsberg. I have seen his name floated around out there a little bit, but I'm very intrigued now that you fully brought it to my attention on the GFP podcast. That could certainly be a name that the Leafs go after. But yeah, they really have to sort this out because like I said, for the millionth time, there's no chance in hell this team is going to go on a playoff run with their goalies playing the way they are.